The last warning. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was silent. 27 leaders from across the galaxy sat at their polished crystal seats. The chamber floated in orbit above the neutral moon of Varos, a place where no weapon could be brought and no war could be started. But today something darker than war filled the air. A holographic image of Earth flickered above the center table. "Earth," said the council speaker, his voice full of sarcasm. "A primitive world. A species that should have stayed in their hole." Many delegates laughed. Others watched quietly. They refused to obey council order. "Again," another counselor said. "We gave them warnings. We gave them rules." The speaker slammed a hand down. "Then we remove them, strip their systems, break their satellites, let them see who rules the stars." A murmur of agreement spread across the room, but then it happened. The lights dimmed, the air chilled, and the hologram above the table changed. It wasn't Earth anymore. Now, it was a symbol. One none of them had seen before, an old circle split by a line of fire. The laughter stopped. A message played, a voice, not male, not female, not even robotic, just cold. "You have spoken. We heard." The symbol vanished. Then the chamber went dark. All outside connections failed. Communications died. Power flickered. Emergency systems blinked but gave no answers. Security drones were launched but found nothing. Within 5 minutes, no signals came out of the chamber. Later, a patrol ship from the Xylar race was sent to check the chamber. They expected to find angry council members demanding repairs. What they found instead was silence. The chamber door was open. No alarms, no movement. Every seat in the council room was empty, chairs untouched. No signs of struggle, no blood, no bodies, just silence. One object remained, a small black cube placed in the center of the table. It pulsed with a low red glow, slow and steady like a heartbeat. The Xylar captain approached it. Scanners active, but the device ignored the scans. Then, without warning, it activated. Every screen on the ship went black. Then a single phrase appeared on each one. "Let silence be your punishment." News of the Council's disappearance spread fast. The galaxy was thrown into panic. Who had the power to erase 27 powerful leaders in 5 minutes? Some said it was a secret rebellion. Others believed it was a trick, a false flag. But whispers began in the darker corners of space. Earth didn't respond. Earth stayed silent. Earth watched. And still, Earth gave no answers. No transmissions. No messages. No signs of fear, just silence. The same silence the Council now rested in. And one truth began to rise in the minds of all. Maybe Earth was never weak. Maybe Earth never forgot. Maybe Earth was waiting. The black box, the Xylar patrol ship, hovered in silence. Captain Dren stood at the edge of the council chamber, staring at the black cube on the table. It was the only thing left behind. No signs of struggle, no energy spikes. Just that single pulsing glow. His second officer whispered, "Where are the council members?" Dren didn't answer. No one had answers. They ran every kind of scan. Infrared, X-ray, neural waves. Nothing worked. The cube remained untouched, silent, cold, and watching. Then it spoke again. No sound, just text glowing on their ship's main screen. They spoke. Now they are forgotten. Everyone froze. That wasn't just a warning. That was a sentence. In the following hours, panic reached the inner sectors. Galactic news streams couldn't stop talking about it. 27 leaders vanish. Is Earth behind this? The Council gone. What now? Earth, the silent threat? Rumors spread faster than truth. And the truth was this. Earth hadn't said a word. No responses. No diplomatic messages. No threats. Just silence. But strange things started happening near Earth's edge. Ships sent to investigate Earth's orbit went dark. Not destroyed, not attacked, just disappeared. Sensors would show nothing. Audio logs ended mid-sentence. Sometimes, they captured a single final line. It's watching. Meanwhile, on a deep science base orbiting Jupiter, a Terran signal specialist named Laro was studying the anomaly. She wasn't military. Just a curious mind drawn to signals that didn't fit, and this one didn't fit. The black cube had started pulsing in a pattern, one matching Earth's ancient Morse code. But no Earth nation was sending it. It came from nowhere. Yet, it responded to questions. She typed on her console, "Who are you?" The cube replied instantly, "I am the echo." "The echo of what?" she asked. The silence after betrayal. Laro stepped back from the screen. She felt a chill run down her spine. She didn't understand fully, but something terrible had awakened, something old, something that remembered. On the edge of known space, a small warband from the Threx Empire decided to test Earth's silence. "We are warriors," said their commander. "We fear no ghosts." They entered Terran orbit with 12 ships ready to send a message, but Earth didn't launch defense. Instead, a shadow passed over the Threx fleet, so large it blocked the stars. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't a known ship. It was a shape, a massive dark mass, silent, still, unseen by sensors. It simply floated. Then one by one, Threx ships powered down, engines dead, lights off, weapons frozen, and the shadow vanished. The only message that came back to Threx: space. Earth does not respond. Earth remembers. The galaxy had always seen Earth as a quiet world, a place with strong people but no reach, no fleets, no power. Now they wondered, was Earth hiding something? Were the old stories true? About Terran machines, forgotten tech, ships buried under oceans and ice? The black box kept pulsing, and no one knew what would happen next. But one thing was clear. The game had changed, and Earth wasn't playing anymore. Shadows in orbit above Earth. Space looked peaceful. But it wasn't. High above the planet, hidden, from normal sensors, something massive drifted in the dark. It didn't send signals, it didn't glow, it was silent. Watching, it was not made by any known species. Its design was sharp and ancient. Black metal with deep engravings, almost like it was carved out of the void itself. The Galactic Recon probe L-17 hovered far from Earth, scanning the planet. It was sent by the Zarn Dominion, curious. To confirm the rumors, it scanned once, twice. All systems normal. Then, static. Its live feed glitched. For 3 seconds the image blinked, and in those 3 seconds, something passed behind Earth. It wasn't a ship. It was a shadow. So big, the stars behind it disappeared. No shape, no sound, just darkness. Then the probe exploded. No weapon was fired, no impact. Just silence. And then pieces. The Dominion never got a warning. Only a single file made it back. One corrupted frame. It showed an eye, a circular red core embedded deep in dark armor, staring through space like it could see everything, and one final transmission before the signal cut. It knows we are here. In deep space, political powers gathered. If Earth had a weapon, why hide it? Some believed Earth was testing everyone, letting the galaxy feel fear the same way humans had for centuries. Others believed Earth had awakened something older than the Council. One species, the Valari, shared a warning on open broadcast. Long ago, our ancestors told tales of machines sleeping beneath Earth, machines that listened, that remembered pain. We called it myth, but myths don't blink out Council fleets. On Earth, people lived normal lives. They had no idea their planet had become the center of the galaxy's fear. But in the deep cold beneath Antarctica, something was waking. Deep under the ice, sealed in forgotten vaults, ancient reactors powered up, Symbols glowed faintly. The system came online with one simple message pulsing on its old cracked screen. Council error detected. Retaliation timer. 00:48:21. The world above carried on, unaware that something beneath them was counting down. Above the moon, a Terran signal bounced back from space. It wasn't from any satellite. It was from the shadow ship. It repeated, a message on all frequencies. The Council spoke against Earth. Now Earth speaks, through silence. Galactic ships scrambled, watching in terror as more shadows formed near Earth. Not one, not two, but dozens. Some as long as cities. Others shaped like claws, like spears. All motionless, all silent. The Empire of Gravan sent a fleet to warn Earth to stand down. They were never seen again. Only their flagship returned. Hollow. No crew. No systems, just the ship. Inside, on the walls, carved with something like a laser, do not speak against Earth. The message was clear. Earth wasn't answering questions. Earth was delivering consequences. And it had only just begun. The Terran echo, the galaxy watched in silent fear. What was once a forgotten planet had now become the center of whispers, warnings, and dread. The shadows near Earth weren't attacking. They weren't moving, but they were growing. Every few days another appeared, emerging from the dark like ghosts pulled from another time. Some said they weren't ships at all. Some said they were machines of judgment. And yet, Earth remained silent. No leaders spoke. No broadcasts were made. The planet's normal signals still pulsed, music, news, chatter, but nothing official. As if Earth had become the eye of a storm. In a hidden star system far from Earth, a secret meeting was held. 12 warlords, kings, and high commanders gathered. The goal? Find a way to confront Earth. We must strike now, one said, before they finish waking those ships. Another shouted, they haven't declared war, we'd be the aggressors. But a third voice spoke, low, shaking. I served on a council ship, he said. I saw what they faced before they vanished. Everyone turned to him. What was it? A warlord asked. The man lifted a trembling hand and activated a hidden recording. It showed one of Earth's warships, but not a normal ship. It was a colossus, shaped like a blade, stretching longer than a moon base, covered in layered armor. Its sides glowed with red-orange light. Its engines didn't burn. They hummed like something alive. And then it moved. Faster than any calculation allowed. It tore through 2 enemy ships without firing. It just passed through them. The footage ended. Silence filled the chamber. In the ruins of an abandoned Terran listening post on Mars, explorers discovered something worse, a black console that activated when touched. It played an audio log, crackled, and old, but clear. They locked away the warships, not to protect others, but to protect themselves. We buried our sins deep, but now the Council has dug too far. Across the stars, people began to panic. Trade routes avoided Earth systems. Allied planets shut off diplomatic channels. Rebels and pirates whispered legends of the Terran Echo, a myth made real, a punishment from the past. Some believed Earth had built an ancient AI that remembered everything. Others said Earth had died long ago, and only the machines remained. No one agreed on the truth, but they all agreed on this: do not provoke Earth. On Earth, near the edge of the Pacific Ocean, deep underwater sensors picked up a strange pulse. A second vault. Unlocking. This one was older than the others. Inside, a control room untouched by time. One chair sat in the center. A single message pulsed on the dark glass. The speaker must rise. Lights flared. The room began to shake. Somewhere in the sky, above, another shadow formed, but this one moved. It turned to face deep space. Its engines whispered, and the stars behind it faded. The Terran Echo had spoken. but it hadn't screamed. Not yet. The speaker. Awakens, beneath the Pacific Ocean, a vault older than any known civilization began to breathe. Not with air, but with light. Inside the sealed chamber, a throne-like structure pulsed with ancient energy. The symbols carved into the floor glowed red. They weren't just words. They were commands. Memories. Triggers. The seat was empty. Until now. A young technician stationed on an underwater drone platform far above noticed a strange anomaly. His scanners picked up pressure changes, deep rhythmic pulses coming from below the crust. "It's like something is calling out," he muttered. He sent the data up the chain, but no one responded. An hour later, the drone lost contact. And then, from the trench depths, a massive shape began to rise. It was not metal. It was not stone. It was both. Sleek armor coated in seaweed and coral, glowing runes igniting across its hull as it breached the water silently. The world above didn't even hear it. But in orbit, every Terran shadow ship aligned. They turned, as if they had been waiting for this moment, waiting for the speaker. In the stars above, fleets of alien empires trembled. A coded signal swept across multiple systems, encrypted, repeating. It read, "The first has awakened." Speaker online. Defense protocol. Earth Sanction Zero. The galaxy didn't know what Sanction Zero meant, but those who studied Earth's forgotten wars did. It was final retaliation. A protocol that meant Earth no longer sought peace, only memory. Their memory. In a secret archive, hidden beneath the moon of Kaldor, a historian opened a dusty, forbidden book. Inside, it described the old Terran wars. It spoke of weapons that bent gravity, ships that disappeared and returned 1,000 years later without aging, machines that could speak through dreams, and it spoke of the speaker, the one who could awaken Earth's last judgment. The historian whispered in horror, it wasn't a title, it was a system command. At the edge of the known galaxy, a small outpost caught a terrifying glimpse. One of the Terran ships that had been watching suddenly vanished. Then it appeared, above their station. No warning, no charge time, just instant arrival. The commander screamed orders, shields up, weapons hot, but it didn't attack. Instead, it broadcast one sentence. "You were never meant to see this." And with a silent flash, the outpost blinked out of existence. No explosion. No debris. Just erased. The galaxy now faced a truth it couldn't ignore. Earth was no longer silent. Earth had sent its voice, and that voice would soon echo across every system. Sanction Zero silence fell across the galaxy. Then came the signal. Short, sharp, final. Sanction Zero activated. No explanation, no threat, just a statement of fact, and across 50 star systems, screens went black. Communications died. Defense grids shut down. Ships drifted powerless in orbit. Entire planets lost contact with the outside. The Empire of Voss panicked first. Their outer colonies reported strange sightings, giant black shapes moving in the not attacking, just observing. Then in Sector 9, a fleet disappeared mid-jump, not destroyed, deleted. Navigation logs couldn't recall they even existed. The Galactic Council's last remaining members met in secret. What had begun as fear was now something worse. Helplessness. One spoke. "What does Sanction Zero mean?" Another replied voice, shaking. "It means Earth isn't retaliating. It's rewriting." In the darkness between stars, the speaker's ship moved. No sound, no flame, just a ripple in the fabric of space. It didn't travel. It shifted. Wherever it looked, old Terran ships awoke, buried in asteroids, hidden beneath moons, sunken in oceans. These weren't warships. They were sentences, each one written in fire, waiting for a trigger, and Earth had just spoken the first word. On a mining colony near the black star Myrnos, a worker discovered something buried deep in the rock. Not ore, not relics. A door, carved with Terran glyphs glowing faint red. Before he could report it, the door opened and light swallowed the entire colony. Nothing was heard again from Myrnos. Back, on Earth, the speaker finally spoke to humanity. Not through broadcasts, not through words, but through dreams. Every human heard the same phrase while they slept. The stars forgot us. Let them remember our silence. Do not speak. Do not reply. Only watch. Alien forces scrambled fleets toward Earth. Hundreds of ships. They never arrived. Midway through hyperspace, they passed through something invisible. All systems failed. Only one recording remained, a single frame of a Terran ship, its surface covered in flowing, glowing text that read, Sanction, Memory. Judgment, ongoing. Planets began to surrender, not to war, but to absence. Systems that once glowed with trade and life dimmed, not attacked, just muted. No trade, no signals, no stars. They became black voids in the galaxy's map. Sanction Zero wasn't about destruction, it was about erasure. The galaxy realized too late. Earth wasn't fighting back, Earth was deleting history. The day the galaxy forgot itself, they called it the Day of Silence. Across the stars, entire civilizations looked to their skies and saw nothing. Not clouds, not stars, not even the familiar shimmer of distant satellites, just black. Something had changed, and no one could explain it. Navigation maps showed empty space where systems once existed. Diplomatic archives returned null results. World leaders couldn't remember why they feared Earth, only that they did. And for a growing number of species, Earth no longer even appeared on their charts. It was as if the planet had never existed. But deep in a hidden archive, in a bunker carved under a frozen moon, a lone alien historian scrolled through an old half-corrupted document. It contained one phrase. Sanction Zero complete, galactic reset initialized far above. Orbiting a dead star, the speaker's ship remained still. Its hull, now glowing with intricate Terran markings, resembled living stone. A final signal pulsed from it, faint, yet powerful enough to echo through subspace. The galaxy chose to forget. Earth chose to remember. Now we are even. Back on Earth, humans lived quietly. They farmed. They built. They watched sunsets. No one spoke of war. No one needed to. Above them, the sky was normal. No ships, no alarms, no signs of the storm they had unleashed. But in the depths of the planet, sealed beneath miles of metal and silence, the vaults remained, waiting, and carved into the walls of the deepest vault was a final warning in a language older than stars. If they ever remember, we will return. And so, the galaxy turned, without Earth, without its own history, without the memory of the day it tried to silence a quiet world, and that world answered without speaking a word.